Before I start, I would like to say all the information I have in this video is from Fandom, the website. Anyway, let's talk about Polka Dot Man. A character will be showing up in James Gunn's new movie, Suicide Squad. Polka Dot Man's real name is Abner Krill. Honestly, in the comics, he's not really doing anything. He's basically just existing. Fandom's description of him is, Abner Krill, known as Mr. Polka Dot, and the Polka Dot Man, launched a crime wave on spots and dots in Gotham City, where he inevitably became in conflict with Batman and Robin, the city's masked protectors. The first appearance of his character is in Detective Comics number 300 that came out in 1962, but the first appearance of him in the current timeline is in New Year's Evil Volume 2, number 1. That came out in 2020. After that, he hasn't really done anything in Prime Earth since then, or at least anything noteworthy. Because of that, I will only be talking about him before 2011, which is the start of New 52. Now let's get to his backstory. As a fearsome Mr. Polka Dot, he wore a bizarre costume covered in spots, the point of which soon became apparent. Once removed from the costume, the spots could be used for a variety of purposes, creating deadly weapons and bizarre escape vehicle. Perhaps surprisingly, he succeeded in capturing Robin, but Batman was nonetheless able to save his crime-fighting partner and bring Krill's crime spree to an end. He returned some years later, undaunted, yet also lacking his gimmicks. With the spots on his costume merely decorative, using a baseball bat, he assaulted Officer Foley of the Gotham City Police Department, causing him very minor injuries. He was then beaten badly by Harvey Bullock, who was sick of costume villains in the city. The assault put Polka Dot Man, as he now styled himself, in traction. He filed a brutality suit against the police department, which resulted in Bullock being forced to see a psychiatrist for some time. Later, Mr. Polka Dot joined a group of second-rate villains working for General Immortus. Immortus, with the help of Professor Milo, upgraded the villains' powers and gadgets. The group was undone when they were betrayed by Human Flame. Most were killed in a brutal battle, including Mr. Polka Dot. His head was squished after a manhole cover landed on him. Just to remind you again that this was all before New 52, where he came back to life. Now we're on to powers and abilities, except like Peacemaker in my last video, he only has abilities and no powers. His only abilities are weaponry and basic hand-to-hand combat. He mostly uses weapons and equipment. The weapon he uses is his polka dots. When attached to his costume, the dots are connected to wiring in his costume, keeping them inert. Once removed, they would activate, enlarging in size and becoming various devices, these including buzzsaw dots, flare dots, and teleportation devices. The costume he uses is his controller belt that he uses to control most, if not all, of his dots. His getaway vehicle is a floating polka dot and a large floating sphere, which are concealed in the dots on his costume. Well, that's the end of the video. Hope you learned some things about Polka Dot Man. Make sure to go watch the new Suicide Squad movie. The day that this will be posted is the day I go see Suicide Squad. Hope you liked the video. Goodbye.